I'd love you to think about for a moment whether there's a part of you that has checked out, given up, pulled back from the things that you really want to do because of how tough 2023 has been. Maybe you've had personal life events going on. Maybe you've been really impacted by situations around the globe. Perhaps it's all just accumulated and started to get to you. And I just really want to invite you to notice whether there's a belief that's crept in that is basically saying, I can't push, I can't grow my business, I can't move up the career ladder. It's not possible for me to charge the prices that I want to, because of all of the things that you're seeing in the news and what's going on around you. Now, if that's the case, you're not alone. I've seen a lot of discussion and a lot of people actually feeling very alone and despondent and worried over the last few months. And of course, I completely understand where that comes from. And it's important for us to be aware of, how things are in the world and all of the different challenges that people are dealing with. But I just want to highlight for you what happens when we get into the mindset of it's too hard and I can't. What actually happens on the inside is that the moment that you start to have that thought, you shut down the possibility of developing yourself. And when you stop growing and learning, your self-esteem goes down with it. Your belief in yourself goes down with it. So there's a direct correlation between how you feel about yourself and how much you're learning and facing forwards with optimism. Now, I'm not a Pollyanna type person. I'm not somebody who's just like, everything's got to be, the whole time, and it's all blue skies and roses. I'm very realistic. I've worked at the front line of the NHS for the whole of my career. I understand and I'm fully aware of how tough things can be. But I really want to highlight this link between your mindset, your thinking, your openness to developing and growing, and what happens then to your self-esteem, what happens to how you feel about yourself. It starts to spiral downwards. You get discouraged and your world starts to shrink because you're not thinking, expansively. You're not considering new possibilities. And you start to hold on tightly. And what's really interesting about this state of mind, and it's, we all get it sometimes. What's really interesting about that, the state of mind, just that focus makes things shrink down and stagnate and stop flowing. And opportunities pass you by. Other people seem to be able to get things that you can't. You start to compare yourself to other people, all because of that initial thought. So what I've noticed is that this state of mind is incredibly isolating and unhelpful for personal development, for business, for attracting clients, for attracting opportunities, whether you're employed or self-employed. This state of mind has a really big impact on you. And one of the important things to notice is that I think we tend to get like this because we think that, we're subconsciously seeking comfort. So when things feel difficult, even the most primitive animal will move away from a difficult stimulus, from a painful stimulus, from a toxic chemical. Even an algae or an amoeba will shuffle off in another direction. We're exactly the same. We're all exactly the same. But actually learning to notice when you're shrinking back, when you're pulling back, when you're shrinking down the possibilities, and recognize that that's happening because of discomfort. And instead of pulling back and shrinking away, focusing your attention on supporting yourself through difficulty. It's really important, and it makes such a difference to the way your life pans out. If you put down the shutters and you say, I can't, I won't, it's not possible for me, it's not possible in the current climate, you're right, you won't. You won't. You'll stay exactly where you are. There's a very famous quote about that, which I'm sure you know. So this is important. Notice if your thinking has stagnated, if your ability to see a future has frozen down at the moment. It's time to start having conversations with people who inspire you, connecting with other people, and opening up the possibility of I can. And what will happen is that your confidence and your learning and your ability to attract opportunities will go back up again. Now, this can happen really quickly. So if you relate to what I'm talking about in this video, I really want you to maybe watch this, once a day for a few days as a reminder, and start noticing, start taking action so that positive forward cycle starts to move again. Sometimes the first step is the hardest. And then as soon as you get things moving, you'll find that things begin to flow. I really hope this has inspired you. Comment below, subscribe so that you can see all of my videos. And of course, I've got events and new programs coming soon. So please stay connected so that you can hear about those as well. Bye for now.